Hey, what is up guys? So I got something very cool to share with some of you older players or some of you newer players. You're checking out this card, you're like, what the heck? This was like bait for little kids to like see and say, I want to play this in my deck. Straight up like things from the TV show stuff. Anyways, it is a Armityle one-shot OTK. And he's a card that, he's bait for little kids and people that are newer to the game to try to run. I know when I saw this card, I was like, wow, this is so cool. I can play all these like strong, we got Ravio, Haman. He uses all of them. You make the super boss monsters, got 10,000 attack, but, you know, obviously reality hits you when you try to make your deck. But with Chicken Race Pseudo Space, anything is possible, including this thing that is probably more difficult to pull off than Exodia because it requires so much. Not only do you, of course, have to draw a bunch of cards, but it requires you to not have certain things in your hand, and they need to actually be in the deck, and it requires you to have other things in your hand. It's so conditional that no one realistically is going to be trying to play this in competitive scenes, so you don't have to worry about this. But anyways, here's the basic combo. Let me go and break it down. You want to go ahead and summon Prisma, and you want to activate Hero's Bond. So if there's a face-up hero monster on the field, you can summon 2 level 4 or lower elemental monsters from your hand. So it's like super minus, you got to use this card, plus you have to have another E-Hero. So like I said, it's really conditional, but it doesn't matter because it pulls off this card that's absolutely amazing. He's going to go ahead and pop this for I don't know what reason. Maybe like bounce back, I don't know, freaking Honest for Waters. Anyways, he makes this card that's absolutely amazing. So he's going to go ahead and send the Araya, the Ravio, and then he's going to go ahead and activate Prism's effect, and then he's going to send Haman to the graveyard to bust out this card over here, Armityle, the Chaos Phantom over here. So it requires Araya, Haman, and Ravio, all of them to be banished, those above cards, and you don't use Poly. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. It gains 10,000 attack during your turn only. This card can actually be Magic Cylinder, it can be Mirror Force, anything can happen to this card. It just can't be destroyed by battle, but it's got 10,000 attack, so I don't think that that's going to matter anyways. And he's able to go ahead and one-shot his opponent for 10,000 points of damage. Now I know some of you guys want the deck profile, don't worry, I already got that for you guys. Alright, so here is the deck profile, guys. Like I said, it's not going to be meta, it's just kind of for nostalgia, and it just shows you guys, like, you know, Chicken Race makes anything viable. And I remember seeing this card, I don't know what Game Boy game it was, I think it was for a Game Boy Advance game. I remember seeing this and I was like, wow, this card is so cool, it has 10,000 attack. And then you could never get the card out. Like, it was way, way too difficult. And like I said, it's for some of you older Yu-Gi-Oh fans, or maybe when you were little, you saw this card and you were like, wow, that's so cool, 10,000 attack. But it was pulled off, which is pretty trolly. Plus, the guy made a Diamond Direwolf. That could have been a lot of other different things, but just getting rid of, like, everything would be definitely nice. Like, you can Regeki, it doesn't really matter. But nonetheless, here's the deck profile. So, of course, you got the Haman, the Raviel, the Araya, the 3 copies of Prisma. It's really like conditional. And then you have the Perform Mage Hat Tricker. It's 2 copies of those. 3 copies of Royal Magic Library. 1 double summon, which you only plays 1 of, which you tactically don't need for the combo, because all you need is your summon of this and the other cards have to be in hand. I know it's conditional, but the point of it is he pulled it off, alright? Anyways, then we got Pot of Benevolence and Pot of Generosity. Absolutely atrocious cards. Alright, so Pot of Benevolence, you just select 2 cards from the graveyard and you shuffle them into the owner's deck. Active activation. Move this card from play instead of sending it to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 of them per turn. And then we have Pot of Generosity, which is like a neg-3. It's return 2 cards from your hand to your deck, then shuffle your deck. You don't get to draw any cards. It's just very, very bad. I think Mallet might be another option, but nonetheless, this card is very bad. But it does have its use because sometimes when you put back cards, you don't want to draw them. Like, you do not want to draw these cards. You send them to the graveyard and you put them back, you know, any other way. You just don't want to actually draw them because you want them to be sent to the graveyard from the effect of Elemental Prisma. And then we got 3 copies of Terraforming, 3 copies of Golden Bamboo Sword, 2 Dark World Dealings, 2 Hero Bond, 3 Into the Void, 3 Hand Destruction, 1 Broken Bamboo Sword, 3 Ghastly Bamboo Sword, 3 Chicken Game, and 3 Pseudo Space. For the extra deck, I would say pretty much it's irrelevant. But he's got the Dante. I mean, the guy that sent it in was Dante Swagger of the Trolling Abyss. Very, very awesome replay. Thanks for sharing this. But the only thing that's really important, I would say, here is Armityle, as well as the Diamond Direwolf. Everything else, maybe this, you can maybe make some use of this, perhaps. But for the most part, it's a cheese deck. It's not meant to be meta. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just I remember I had a few people ask me how I could make this deck viable, and I had no idea. I was like, you realistically can't get those out. You'd have to soul charge or something like that, and then I realized it can't be normal summon a set. It must be special summon from your hand by doing X amount of thing, and then when it cannot be special summoned by other ways. That was the text. That was the text that I was like, oh, soul charge out of the question over here. It was just so difficult. I'm like pulling out all three. I didn't even think to use Prisma because I forgot that this thing, you could just use Prisma for it. Because yeah, freaking, I did not expect someone to actually pull it off. But that was awesome. I think you definitely made a lot of older players happy, or some of the younger players that tried it when it was. When they were little. It's just like, you can't make this card. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. It's been your boy, Will Smith, signing out.